Good evening, students. So in our previous segment we have talked of the development of dicotyl embryo in the two parts. Then we have discussed the development of monocot embryo. Now we know that the ovule will give rise to seed. So the topic for today's discussion is seeds. That is the seed development. We are discussing the post fertilization events only. Today we will discuss about the seeds as well as fruits. Right? So the topic is seed development. Right? Now we know that ovule will give rise to seed. That particular seed will contain the three parts. So mature ovule will give rise to seed, and these seed contain the three major parts. The first part is the dormant embryo, that is the inactivated embryo. Dormant embryo, then storage tissue, which is generally a cotyledon, one cotyledon in the monocot seeds, two cotyledons in dicots. So first is dormant embryo, then storage tissue which is generally cotyledon, and the seed coat, which is a protective covering, or you can also say protective layer, which protects the seed under the dormant conditions. So the typical seed contains the three parts or three structures, that is the dormant embryo, storage tissue which is generally a cotyledon, and the seed coat which is generally acting as a protective layer. Right? Now we have seen the nucleus also, which is surrounding the ovule, that is the ovary part, and the endosperm. In many cases the nucleus gets also used up. So nucleus is also used up in development of embryo, but in certain cases this nucleus still remains within the seed, and such seeds are called as perispermic seeds, and this is what we have discussed earlier also. So nucleus gets also used up in the development of embryo, but in some cases it remains exterior to the endosperm, and the seeds are generally termed as perispermic seeds. We have seen the example of black pepper. So castor oil seeds also, though it is called as perispermic seeds, and the example includes black pepper and castor oil seeds, which has some amount of nucleus. Right? Now if we discuss about the layers of the seed, then the two layers are there, that is outer as well as inner layer. So outer tegument and the inner is called as the tegment. So the outer layer is generally called as tegument, or you can say integument, which is generally hard protective covering, right, which is present in the seed, and the inner layer is called as tegment. You can also say this as testa. So this is called as testa, and this is tegment. This is again important for NEET exams also. The outer as well as inner layer. Outer layer is called as the testa, and inner layer is called as tegment or tegment. Now seeds, again we have the two types, that is the dicot and monocot, and this dicot and monocot are also divided into the presence or absence of the endosperms. So seeds are again in the dicot seeds and monocot seeds. Dicot and monocot again subdivided into endospermic seeds and non-endospermic seeds. So dicot is again divided into endospermic seeds. Endospermic seeds are also called as albuminous seeds. Why albuminous seed? Because it has endosperm, which is a protein rich nutrient or nourishment. So albuminous seeds, or you can also say endospermic seeds. The next is non-endospermic or non-albuminous or ex-albuminous seeds. So the second is non-endospermic or ex-albuminous seeds, or you can also say non-albuminous. Example includes castor, wheat, maize, barley for endospermic seeds. So here example includes castor, wheat, maize and barley. For non-endospermic we have pea, gram, beans as well as groundnut. So groundnut, pea, then pea, gram, beans. So again dicot is divided into two, that is endospermic, depending upon the presence or absence of endosperm within the seeds, into endospermic or non-endospermic, albuminous or non-albuminous or ex-albuminous. Examples are very important for competitive exam as well as for board exams. Similarly, we can divide monocot seeds into again endospermic as well as non-endospermic. So this is what I am writing here. So monocot is again divided into endospermic seeds as well as non-endospermic seeds. This is endospermic seeds and non-endospermic seeds. Non-endospermic example includes orchids and endospermic includes non-endospermic orchids. This includes the rice as well as maize. Means generally the cereal families are included in the endospermic seeds, right? Now this is all about the division of dicot as well as monocot seeds into endospermic as well as non-endospermic seeds. Now what happens generally is, as the seed mature, water content in the seed reduces. So as the seed matures, water content is reduced. That means seed will be going to become relatively dry, but general metabolic activities of seed or the embryo ceases down, it decreases. So at the seed mature, water content decreases, seed will become relatively dry, and when the seed will become relatively dry, what is going to happen is general metabolic activity also decreases. You can say general metabolic activity of the seed or general metabolic activity of the embryo also decreases. So basically embryo or the seed enters into a stage which is inactive stage of the life of the seed, and that stage is called as dormant stage or dormancy period. So seed enters into dormant stage, or you can say dormant period. Now when the conditions are favorable, that means sufficient amount of oxygen, temperature, moisture content is available, seed will undergo germination and the new baby plant is produced out. So under favorable conditions, so when the conditions are favorable, what is going to happen is seed undergo germination, right? When the seed undergo germination, the new baby plant comes out. Seed undergo germination and the new baby plant comes out. So when the seed mature, or that is the water content generally decreases, that means seed will become dry. So if it is dry, metabolic activity will be there, but it will be at a very slow rate. So that means metabolic activity decreases. So seed enters into a dormancy period, Dormancy period, we all know that it is an inactive stage of the life of the particular organism. Here we are considering the seed. Now when the conditions are favorable again, what is going to happen is seed undergo germination to give rise to new baby plant. So this is all about the basic classification of seeds into endospermic as well as non-endospermic seeds depending upon the presence or absence of endosperm. Dicot, endospermic, non-endospermic. There is one correction here, students. Maize and all these things will not come in as an example of the dicot seeds. You please note this correction. The castor you can write, and the rest all are endospermic, non-endospermic. Maize, rice, barley, orchids as an example of non-endospermic seeds under the monocot category, and this is what we have discussed. In the next part we will discuss about the fruit, development of fruits.